I wasn't always political. And I know now that I had the privilege to not be political because I'm white. And as I got older and started learning more, I realized that pretty much all the reasons that I didn't like politics to start with were actually political beliefs, and that everything is political. You get the Democrats who sit there and watch Donald Trump give a speech and hold up fun little signs that say, I don't like this, or wear a little hat or something. And then Donald Trump deploys the National Guard in DC and criminalizes homelessness and just turns us into a fascist police state. And Democrats do nothing to stop him. No one does anything because it's better to campaign on problems to maintain your station than it is to actually help people. There was no accountability. They could go out there and be involved in some scandal or some crime where the rest of us would have lost our job, and they see no consequences. Hell, you can get elected to the highest station in America, if not the world, if you're a convicted felon. It's like, well, it turns out they actually don't really care about crime that much. There's also no accountability in terms of campaign promises. You campaign on all these platforms, and then you do none of it, and then you, a couple years later, say, you should elect me again because I want to do this. And it's like, didn't we just go through with that? Where's the accountability? And the reason is because it's easier to campaign on a problem than it is to actually fix anything. America's far and away the worst with school shootings. And Democrats say, well, it's because of gun control, which over 90% of the people in the country want universal background checks on guns. And so tend to agree with that. But then Republicans say, no, it's not that. It's mental health because they're bought by the NRA. And then neither of them do anything. We have kids in schools getting shot at higher rates than other countries in the world. I would prefer gun control because that's obviously the thing, if you look at the rest of the world, that keeps these kinds of things from happening. At this point, let's try mental health. Give everyone mental health resources without putting it behind the barrier of money, because if you put it behind the barrier of money, there will be people who won't be able to afford it, and they won't get it, and that won't solve the problem, right? And if that doesn't work, then we try gun control laws. But try fucking something. Nothing has been done to make these school shootings go away. But both of them propose solutions of how to prevent this, and then neither of those things happen. And then all we do is teach kids how to hide under desks and armor schools and increase police in schools. I hated that about politics back when I wasn't political, and I hate it now when I am political. And those campaign promises were few and far between because the vast majority of their campaign was telling you about how bad the other person was. Don't vote for them, vote for me instead, because what are you going to vote for that third person? The rest of the country is going to pick between one of these two. So you got to pick me, not that one, instead of campaigning on things you want to do. And if you did, it was these broad, sweeping generalizations that were meant to invoke some kind of emotion in you. I want to make America safe. I want to end crime.